should switch that. Oh, there we are. Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and people of other fabulous genders. Artemu, the Violet Wizard here. And today we are starting a brand new stream series, Stardew Valley. This is a game I have been wanting to stream on Twitch for just so long, because this is an amazing game and one that I have played many times. As we just go by hitting the load button here, we can see just how much of this game I have played. Yeah, we have quite a lot of different files here, all from a lot of different points when I've gotten back into the game after extended a period of being away from it. This is just a game that I can always get down with. It's just so fantastic. Just a very chill time to go in. Spend quite a few weeks just building up just as much as I can with my various farms, and eventually I'll move on to different things, but I can always come back to Stardew just because both a very kind of a complicated game, but also one that's not too complicated. It hits a nice balance of being pretty simple to pick up, while also having some unique challenges to it that can definitely make it very exciting. But we're not going into any of those just yet, because what we want to do is we are going to be starting up a brand new farm. Yep, we have a whole new experience for us today in Stardew as we are jumping into this adventure. By hitting the new button, we have the option to pretty much set everything up that we're going to want for our farm. Also some other options here, which we're going to have like these to normal because they're advanced options. They can be very interesting. But we'll just set those to normal. And yeah, we are pretty much in the character creation screen, which is always fairly interesting for a lot of games. We have the choice of being either male or female. I guess you can headcanon your character as being like gender neutral, but I don't know, there's not too much of an option for that. We're gonna be a male, of course. We'll have about, that is good for our skin tone, and so have a lot of different options for our character here. So I like this hair because it's basically Chrono from Chrono Trigger. That's always very nice. Want to see if we can get like the right look I'm going for. Yep, that is pretty much what I'd like. See, we got a lot of shirt options here, as well as our pants. What am I looking for in my character? I mean, kind of going off how I usually brand my streams, there would be a certain look I'm going for. I actually really like that brown jacket. That looks really good. How about we go... That's also a nice jacket. I like that. Yeah, let's go with that red shirt. I like that. And for the pants... Let's see here. Those ones are pretty good. Alright, we only have, like... Yeah, we only have 4 options for pants, sadly. But yeah, we'll just have normal, long pants. And we can have an accessory to us, like beards, mustaches, earrings. Just a few simple things. I think that's a necklace. It has some nice shades. That's about what I would like. Could have a duck bill for whatever reason. Yeah, I think those glasses will probably do it for me. Be nice to have my character actually looking... Actually, those glasses are nice too. Yeah, I guess we can go with these ones. And now it's time to give our character a name. So I'll be going with my normal name for this, Hayden. And we can select the name of our farm, which is pretty important. We want our farm to have its own unique identity. And... yeah, I know this is already like my presets for like the first farm I did in this game, but you will be the Artomew farm, going with my brand. Their favorite thing is magic. I am very tempted to select the favorite thing as buy because whatever you put in as your favorite thing does affect certain aspects of the game, and it's actually really funny, the different things you can select for that. But yeah, we'll just have magic there. Now we have animal preference. We can select between freestyles of cat or freestyles of dog. This will, of course, change something going forward. So I think we'll go with the cat, mainly this color scheme, because it's very similar to the look of my mom's cat, who I really like. Then we can also adjust the eye color of our character. So I naturally have blue eyes, so we want something about that. That's actually kind of hard to see with the glasses. We can change up our hair color, of course. Going with my brand, like my main avatar has yellow hair, so let's give him some nice golden locks. Then for our pants, again going with like the branding of my avatar, let's have those be more of a some in the blue range. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yep, that'll do. You can't change your shirt color, of course. And there's another option that allows you to skip the intro, which I don't want to skip the intro. This game has an amazing intro. Alright, we pretty much got everything set. Our character's appearance, our name, and other stuff. Yeah, we are good to go. So, it's time to hit OK. And for my very special grandson, I want you to have the sealed envelope. Thank you. No, don't open it yet. Have patience. Now, listen close. There will come a day when you feel crushed by the burden of modern life. And your bright spirit will fade before growing emptiness. When that happens, my boy, you'll be ready for this gift. Now, let Grandpa rest. XX years later. Yep, this is pretty much how the corporate world looks. Oh man, hate to be that guy. Really hate to be that guy. Hey, there's us. Yeah, we're just working a desk job for this corporation. Don't seem to really like our position here. It's the envelope from our grandpa. Dear Hayden, if you're reading this, you must be in dire need of a change. The same thing happened to me long ago. I lost sight of what mattered most in life. Real connections with other people and nature. So I dropped everything and moved to the place I truly belong. I've enclosed the deed to that place, my pride and joy, Artemue Farm. It's located in Stardew Valley, on the southern coast. The perfect place to start your new life. This was my most precious gift of all, and now it's yours. I know you'll honor the family name, my boy. Good luck. Love, Grandpa. P.S. If Lewis is still alive, say hi to the old guy for me, will ya? And just like that, we're abandoning our bland, soul-crushing corporate job and heading out into the country. God, if there's ever a game that just makes you feel like that escapist mentality of wanting to get away from just all the burdens of urban life, it would be this one. So yep, we're heading off to Stardew Valley. Hello, you must be Hayden. I'm Robin, the local carpenter. Mayor Lewis sent me here to fetch you and show you the way to your new home. He's there right now, tidying things up for your arrival. The farm's right over here if you follow me. Sure thing, Robin. This is Artemue Farm. Yikes. What's the matter? Sure, it's a bit overgrown, but there's some good soil underneath that mess. With a little dedication, you'll have it cleaned up in no time. And here we are, your new home. Ah, the new farmer. Welcome, I'm Lewis, mayor of Pelican Town. You know, everyone's been asking about you. Not every day that someone new moves in. It's quite a big deal. So, you're moving into your grandfather's old cottage. It's a good house. Very rustic. That's one way to put it. Rustic? That's one way to put it. Geez, Robin, you just read my mind. Crusty might be a little more apt, though. Rude! Don't listen to her, Hayden. She's just trying to make you dissatisfied so that you buy one of her house upgrades. That actually sounds nice. Anyway, you must be tired from the long journey. You should get some rest. Tomorrow you ought to explore the town a bit and introduce yourself to the townspeople. Would appreciate that. Oh, I almost forgot. If you have anything to sell, just place it in this box here. I'll come by during the night to collect it. Well, good luck. And like that, our adventure in Stardew Valley finally begins. Starting off, what I want to do is head into options right now, because there's some things I want to adjust right quick. We actually turn the music down a little bit. It's a little loud in my ear, and that can be a bit of a pain going forward. I think that's fine. It's like, let's adjust the zoom to like 95%. Yeah, that'll make things a bit more visible here. And yeah, I think that is all I really need to do. Alright, good. So, our adventure in Stardew Valley officially begins. Now, just to quickly go over things, this first session is mainly going to be in tutorial mode. I am setting certain goals for myself all throughout the stream sessions, and this one is going to be a little introductory course over what you need to do at the start of the game and get adjusted to everything. The one you can see that display up in the corner there, that displays a lot of interesting things. Namely the time, which if you're in the menu screen like this, you won't have to worry about the time being depleted. That is very good because you are in limited time during the day, which can be a little tricky for you. You can also see up there the weather, what day of the month it is, the season, how far along in the day you are, your money, and also your journal. Introductions would be a nice gesture to introduce yourself around town. Some people might be anxious to meet the new farmer. So we've seen two people already, Robin and Lewis. There are quite a few other residents in this area, as you can imagine here from the number there. Yet, you can access your journal anytime just by pressing F, very convenient. And by opening this box here, we get ourselves parsnip seeds. Here's a little something to get you started, Mayor Lewis. And from doing that, we got another mission in our journal. If you want to start becoming a farmer, you have to start with the basics. Use your hoe to till the soil, then use a seed packet on the tilled soil to sow a crop. Water every day until the crop is ready for harvest. So we got ourselves our first mission here. We need to cultivate and harvest a parsnip. Before we do that, I want to check the TV. This is very important. You'll want to check the TV every time you start up a day here in Stardew. Welcome to Kozu 5, your #1 source for weather news and entertainment. And now the weather forecast for tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful sunny day tomorrow. That is pretty good. So we have 3 channels that we are able to watch at the moment. There's the weather and the fortune teller, which you will always get. Living off the land is something that happens on set days. You cannot view this channel on others, so it is good to check this as soon as you can. We'll go into the fortune teller now. Welcome back to Welwick's Oracle. If you seek hidden knowledge of the future, well, you've come to the right place. Spirits are very happy today. They'll do their best to shower everyone with good fortune. As you can imagine, there is a luck value to this game, where if the luck in a day is good, you're bound to get a lot of better quality goodies and stuff. We'll elaborate on that much later on. Now let's go to Living Off the Land. Welcome to Living Off the Land. We're back again with another tip for y'all. Now listen up. This one's for all you greenhorns out there. Chop wood and search for wild forage to earn some cash while waiting on your first harvest. Now, as we're going out here onto the farm, something I forgot to elaborate on during the customizing portion of getting things ready, you can actually customize your farm in a variety of different ways. For this session, I decided to go with the most basic farm, as it would give us like ample space in order to do pretty much everything we want to do here. Yeah, now that we got that taken care of, let us go over our tools, which will be very handy going forward. Just want to switch around the position of these right now so that we can go over them in the order I feel is necessary. Alright, so first up, we got the pickaxe. We can use it to break apart stone. By breaking certain items, you're able to obtain items from them. So we're able to collect stone by smashing rocks. This is a very important resource that you'll definitely want to collect. Besides the stones, we also have the axe. This is used for chopping wood, so we can chop these sticks down here. We can also chop down the trees that we see around the farm. It takes a while to chop down trees with our most basic tools, so we'll definitely want to focus on upgrading those in time. The scythe is pretty interesting. This allows us to cut down certain small plants like these bushes here. We are also able to collect fiber, which is another good resource, by swinging our scythe at these little plants. Can also use it to cut the grass here, but I would recommend leaving some grass for later because that'll actually be very important for something going forward once we have some new additions to the farm. Alright, but now let's go into our next main tool, which is very important going forward. Our hoe. You can use the hoe to break through soft soil in order to make a space where you can plant crops. So we got our parsnip seeds here. You can see here, but just by hovering over the seeds, it tells you what season you're able to plant them, as well as how many days it takes for them to mature after you've planted and watered them. So let's go ahead and plant a few parsnip seeds here, and then we can use our watering can to water them. The amount of space you're able to dig up and water increases with how much you've upgraded your watering can and hoe. So you'll definitely want to focus on upgrading these very quickly, because they'll be very handy for getting things on the farm looking good. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and plant all the parsnip seeds we've been given. There really is no reason to stockpile these for later. I highly recommend just planting them as soon as you can on the first day. And we've already got quite a bit of time going. So you can see the blue bar in the watering can is how much water we have in the can. If you find a source of water, you're able to just quickly refill the watering can, so you'll be able to deal with all of that. So we got all of our plants water now. Very good. Let's clear up a bit more space here for later, because we'll definitely want some free space for some things going forward. You may have noticed while I was using my tools here, this green bar on the side was going down. This is our energy meter. It shows how many times we're able to expend energy to use our tools throughout the day. We start with a good amount of energy, and the more you use your tools, the more it depletes. You do not want this thing to hit 0. If it does, you'll be incredibly sluggish, you won't be able to move quickly or do much of anything, and your bar won't recover until you either take a night's rest, which completely uses up your day, or you consume resources in order to refill energy. Now that that's taken care of, let's do a quick overview of our menu here. So we got our basic inventory here, which is very easy to handle. Just hit the E key and you're able to just quickly go into that. It shows all the items and tools that we have in our inventory. These dark squares here are extra spaces that we're not able to use just yet. But as I demonstrated earlier, you're just able to rearrange all of your items in your inventory wherever you want. So it's endlessly customizable, and I really like it. So the next is our skills. This shows how good we are at certain tasks all throughout doing the work here in Pelican Town. So there are 5 main skills: farming, mining, foraging, fishing, and combat. You'll definitely want to level these up as you go. They unlock a bunch of great things that will be helpful to us going down the line. Next, we have the social menu. This shows us the various characters we can meet all throughout Stardew Valley, as well as how much they are bonded to you. It's kind of like a Persona game where you can build up your relations with characters in order to get certain rewards from them. And I highly recommend doing that. There's a lot of characters in this game, and you get a lot of good stuff if you build up your relations with them. Next is our map, which shows us the location of a lot of different things. Just hover over various points of the map, and it tells you a lot of different things. Like when certain shops will be open, as you can see on the hours there. and also shows the various houses where certain people will live, which is very nice. Then after the map, we have crafting. Yep, this game has crafting in it just like others. So we start out with a few basic recipes here. The thing I definitely want to go for early on is the chest, which you're going to need 50 wood to get, so easiest way to get that would be to chop down trees. We'll save that for a bit later, but yeah, your crafting menu just allows you to craft various items as long as you have the resources for them. This will be very useful going forward, but for the time being, while we have just very little stuff to worry about, I'm not going to focus on that right now. Next, we have the collection menu, which shows us the various items that we have collected and shipped off through the box over here. When you start off, obviously, all of these are empty, and it's just really shows just how many collectibles there are in the game for you to get. There is items you can get from the farm and from foraging. There's various fish we can catch, artifacts that can be dug up, minerals that can be mined, recipes from cooking that can be made. Yeah, besides that, there's the options, and then there's exit game, which I obviously don't want to do now. Now that we handled all that, how about we go head off to the town and see about accomplishing one of our main objectives. So our parsnips aren't going to start growing until we advance time to the next day, so right now, on your first day after you plant the parsnips, I highly recommend going to town to meeting the locals. So what we picked up there is a leek. This is an example of a forage item. You can eat it to regain energy and health, or you can sell it by putting it in the drop box. But these items also have other purposes, as we'll be seeing going forward. But yeah, you'll definitely want to collect a few of these. They are very good. And now let's head off to Pelican Town. This is one of the big hubs in this game, and you'll be going here very frequently all throughout adventure. First, we want to check this thing here. This bulletin board has a calendar, which shows us a lot of good stuff here. It shows what season we're in, the year we're in, and just how far along into the month we are. So each season is made up of 28 days, and within that time there's a lot of stuff we're able to do. There are monthly events as well as character birthdays, which are very important for building up relationships with these people. If you go on the side here, there's the Help Wanted board. There's nothing posted here, but you'll want to check this about once a day, because you'll usually find an important mission there. Alright, with that taken care of, let's start going around town and talk to the various people we can see. This fella over here, we can just go around in the back, is Harvey. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Harvey, the local doctor. I perform regular checkups and medical procedures for all the residents of Pelican Town. It's rewarding work. So this here is the clinic. You can go here to purchase medicine from Harvey, which is good for replenishing energy and health. Once a year, the various NPCs you find around Pelican Town will go here for their annual checkup, which is a nice little bit of world building I really like in this adventure. Hello there. Mayor Lewis told me you just arrived. I'm Marnie. Marnie here is a very useful... she's a very useful NPC. She actually runs the ranch that is south of the farm. You'll definitely want to look out for Marnie, because she is a very important NPC. And you'll definitely want to build up your relationship with her for something coming up in the future. We'll go more into that when it becomes relevant. So we got a pretty lass over here. Oh, that's right. I heard someone new was moving on to the old farm. Hang on a sec. Of course, we're 30 minutes into this. Things are starting to sputter right now. Okay, it looks like we're good. Just... wait. Just give me a moment. really don't know how to handle this. Really want a good first session of this, and it's kind of being from me right now. Okay, why? I swear, it's always like a 30-minute curse where things are just get very bad in the stream. Very happy this didn't happen to us when we were finishing up Final Fantasy VII. Okay, come on. It keeps going back and then going down to 0 again. This is very annoying. I seriously don't know what we're supposed to do to make this better. Just completely derail my commentary here. Apologize for this. It just happens every now and again. I feel really shitty about it when it happens. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do about all this. Okay, looks like things are stabilizing right now. Okay, it looks like things are good right now. Alright, so let's go back to talking to you. Kind of a shame, really. I always enjoyed exploring those overgrown fields by myself. Abigail here, definitely someone you'll want to watch out for a variety of reasons. If we go over here, we can talk to Leia. Hello, it's nice to meet you. You picked a good time to move here. The spring is lovely. Yes, it is, indeed. Just hang on a second. Okay. Just give me a second. Just want to make sure this is clear now. Alright, how are we doing? I know, the preview is still showing us... It's really weird. It's still showing us talking to Abigail, which is a little annoying. Just give me a second here. Okay, it looks like it's better now. Just give me a second here. is with this? Just give me a second here. Try reloading that again. I don't know, the stream preview is being like really weird right now, and leaves me worried about a lot of things. Alright, just hang on a second. Okay, it could be that the preview is just behind the stream by a bit. I feel like things should be a bit better going forward. Just give me a second here. Try reloading that again. Okay, it's a little behind right now, but we should still be good to continue. Alright, very quickly, I want to talk to you because you're a new face here. Hello, you must be Hayden, the new farmer. I'm Caroline. My husband runs the general store here. Have you met my daughter Abigail? She's the pale one with the purple hair. I have met your daughter indeed. Yeah, Caroline is fairly interesting, not that important compared to other NPCs. Over here, though, is our man, Pierre. Hey, it's Mr. Hayden, the new farmer. I'm Pierre, owner of the local general store. If you're looking for seeds, my shop is the place to go. I'll also buy produce for you for a good price. A little agriculture could really inject new life into local economy. So Pierre here runs the shop. We can use this to buy various seeds for various plants we can grow on our farm. There are grass starts for planting some new grass for things that will be important for us later. We also have ingredients here. These aren't going to be important for anything right now because we can't do anything with them, but they'll be important for later. It's a catalog which allows us to buy wallpaper and flooring to decorate our house anytime we want. But then the big ones here are saplings. These will plant fruit-bearing trees on our farm, which are very important. These are very good items because they may be pricey, but the amount of money you'll make back from them is definitely worth the price. Something I definitely recommend going for when it comes to the trees is to get the pomegranates and the apple saplings. Those are very important for something going forward, but we'll definitely want to save our money. While we're here, we could buy a couple crops. Yeah, we start off with 500 gold, which is pretty alright for buying a few of these. So what I'd like to do is buy at least 3 seeds before the start of a season. Obviously, we don't have enough space in our inventory to store all these, so we'll just buy a few of these right now. Another thing that's good about the store is we can buy a backpack upgrade. This will add extra slots into our inventory, which is very helpful. Gives a lot more space for items, and just makes it very convenient. It's worth 2,000 gold right now, which seems like a lot, but it's really not too bad considering a few different ways we can make money going forward. Now that's taken care of, where else are we going to go here? It's a bit later into the day, so we can see a lot of things. Inventory's full, so we can't pick that up, but that is a daffodil, very important. Hello there. It's irritating to have to meet all these new people, huh? Name's George, by the way. Now buzz off! He definitely seems like a bitter old man, but... oh, look at that. You're not good enough friends with Alex to enter his bedroom. That is another reason you'll want to level up your friendship with various characters, because you cannot enter their rooms until you've built up a good relationship with them. Which which again is very nice world building for this. Over here is another friendly face. Oh, aren't you the one who just moved in? I'm Maru. I've been looking forward to meeting you. Same, girl. You know, with a small town like this, a new face can really alter the community dynamic. It's exciting. I'm definitely going to it more, but Maru's a character I really like in this adventure. It's got a new character here. Oh, hello. I'm Penny. Just kind of doing the dishes right now. Penny is another interesting character who has a pretty big role with the community around here. Someone else I want to go see. Considering the current time right now, I want to cross this bridge over here onto the other side. And I want to head into this building here. Hello there. Hi, I'm Clint. I'm the town blacksmith. If you ever need to upgrade your tools, I'm your guy. Yeah, Clint is useful for a variety of ways. He can help upgrade your tools here, and he's also capable of doing other things that are very helpful. To go in here, we have the museum. Hello there, welcome to the Stardew Valley Archaeological Office. Now, this is embarrassing, but the previous curator made off with the entire collection. We don't have any artifacts for display, but I'm hoping to remedy that soon. Hey, if you find any artifacts or minerals out there, would you let me know? So Gunfer here runs the museum. If we encounter anything interesting out in the field, we are able to donate them to the museum for nice rewards. And we can also check the books in the library for a variety of different things. Tips on farming. Use fertilizer to improve quality, reduce workload, or hasten crop growth. Fruit trees take a whole season to grow, but they require very little maintenance. Keep the area directly around your new sapling clear, or else it may not grow properly. Crops will die as soon as the season ends, unless they grow in multiple seasons. Example, corn. Some crops, such as kale and wheat, need to be harvested with a scythe. So yeah, get some very useful tips from the books you can find here. I'm pretty sure there's no one else in the library right now. Some NPCs do come to the library and museum. I just want to make sure that things are empty over here. Yep, empty in more ways than one. Alright, so we're pretty much free to head off from here. There's definitely a lot of other areas we want to check out around town and a lot of other interesting people to meet. Over there is Mayor Lewis. We met him earlier. So, how was your first night in the old cottage? Your grandpa used to complain about the rickety old bed, but I think deep down he actually loved that old house. Lewis's house is also found over here. You can go here just to talk to him if he ever ends up going there. Aw, that's sweet. Maru and Penny are just sitting together. A lot of the NPCs in this game have a lot of different set schedules. So they tend to move to a lot of different places all throughout the map. So over here is another new face. Oh, a stranger. My name's Vincent. Mama says not to talk to strangers, but you seem okay. Vincent's one of the few child characters in this game. Oh, you're that new farmer boy, aren't you? Huh? Oh, I'm Haley. If it weren't for those horrendous clothes, you might actually be cute. Screw you, lady. Yeah, Haley is an interesting individual. I'm not that big of a fan of Haley, but... oh no, there could be some things going forward that might change our opinions of her a bit. There's Leia. Looks like she's heading back home. So we go over here, this is Vincent's house, and we can also talk to some other people here. Hey, I'm Sam. Good to meet you. So Sam is Vincent's older brother, and over here... oh, you aren't exactly how I imagined, but that's okay. I'm Jody. It's a quiet little town, so it's very exciting when someone new moves in. Having a farm around could really change things. So Jody is Vincent and Sam's mother. She also has a husband, but he's not currently in town at the moment. Maybe someday we'll see him. So moving past Leia there, want to quickly head over to the ranch. Okay, it's closed. For the record, Leia's house is just over here south of the ranch. What's kind of a downer is that you're not able to go see... you're not able to enter houses of certain characters until you built up their relations with them. Leia is one of them. There's another NPC who's like that who lives over here. It's locked. Okay, so there's something we can do here later. This is the beach south of Pelican Town, and this area is useful for quite a few areas. Okay, so here's a good mechanic. So see those little twigs sticking up out of the ground? Actually, I think they're supposed to be worms. If you take your hoe and hit that, you're able to dig stuff up that was underneath. There's nothing I want to really give up for that clay there. Clay is a good resource, but I don't need to collect it right now, so we'll save that for later. It's getting pretty late now, so a lot of people will be retreating to their homes or going to various other locations. Namely this place I want to check out, the Stardew Saloon. This is an area where a lot of people will come to hang out, and also a place where you can buy quite a few different things. There's a lot of food you can buy here, a lot of recipes, which will be useful for later. But we're mainly here to mingle with the people. Hey kid, the name's Pam. Nothing like a sip of the good stuff to warm these old bones. So Pam is the bus driver of Pelican Town, though she doesn't really see a lot of work right now. Well, hello there. I'm Gus, chef and owner of the Stardew Saloon. Good evening. Can I get you anything? Gus is definitely a friendly fellow. He also gives you some really good recipes if you're able to befriend him. Oh, I can read on your face. You're gonna love it here in Pelican Town. If you're ever looking for something to do in the evening, stop by the saloon. That's where I work. That is Emily, the sister of Haley. It's definitely a lot more positive than her sister, wouldn't you say? Speaking of positivity, I don't know you. Why are you talking to me? That is Shane. It's definitely kind of a grouchy individual, but I don't know. We may be seeing a lot more of him going forward. Alright, it's already 9 p.m. right now. There could be some other things we could see going up, but I'm gonna say that for a bit later. I've already made good progress talking to the various people around town. Still a couple people we still need to talk to, but we're making good progress. Let's actually look at our introductions here. Yeah, we only have 8 more people to talk to. Most of them are going to be north of town or in a few other spots. We'll definitely go see them very soon. Alright, before this day is done, let us quickly get some new plots in for our crops. We'll plant those beans and water them. So beans are unique in that they grow on these sticks. And because of that, you're not able to walk over them like various other crops. And we'll plant some cauliflower too. What's nice about the cauliflower is that it may be on the expensive side, but you get some really good money from raising cauliflower. It's definitely one of the better crops to grow in spring, although it also takes a long time for it to fully mature. Alright, before this day is done, let's chop down a tree and get some wood. What is nice on the farm is that there are a lot of trees sprinkled about the farm, so you got a lot of opportunities to get wood. See there, we already managed to get a good supply of wood. We also managed to get sap from that tree. Sap is useful for a lot of different recipes, so I highly recommend picking that up. We can also use it in conjunction with our wood to make a torch, which is used for lighting up areas. Definitely very helpful, gives you a good view of things when nighttime comes around. But yeah, that's probably going to do it for the night. Just so that we're able to make some money the next day, let's go ahead and sell that leek. We could sell a few of these as well, but they don't really give a lot of money. Typically, resources will not give you a lot of money. But with that, we can end the day and collect our reward. A whole 60G for selling a leek. So yep, that was our first day. A pretty good introduction to how things are going to be here in Pelican Town and Stardew Valley. Alright, so now that we got our second day, what are we able to do? It's going to rain all day tomorrow. That is definitely going to be helpful for a variety of reasons. Let's quickly water our plants here. So yeah, every day you'll want to water the plants so that they are able to grow properly. If not, then your plants may take longer to grow. They could produce lower quality goods. You definitely want to watch out for that. Also, you want to make sure that grass is not growing over anything, because that can also hamper the growth of your products. So you might have noticed this big stump here. If we try to hit it with our axe isn't strong enough to break it, so we're going to have to get an upgrade for that. You can see here a mailbox next to our house has a letter in it. If we check that, I keep finding cool stuff. My backpack is full. Does this sound like you? Well, Pierre's got you covered. Stop by Pierre's General Store today and check out our affordable size 24 backpack. See you soon. So yeah, that basically tells you to go to Pierre's to get the inventory upgrade. And we have another letter. Hello there, just got back from a fishing trip. You should come down to the beach sometime. I've got something for ya, Willie. I gotta tell you, I love it when my Willie sends me mail. Alright, before we head into town and get our other things in order, I want to chop down some more trees and get some wood. Because I want to build a chest so that we have enough space in our inventory to pick up collectibles. This will be very helpful going forward. Yeah, as you can see here, it takes a lot of energy to chop down a fully grown tree. And yeah, definitely a good reason to upgrade the axe going forward. Besides other reasons that'll be very important. Alright, now that we got a good supply of wood, we should be able to get crafting a chest. So we'll put our chest down here. And we can use this to store things that we don't currently need to use, which is very nice. Gives a lot of space in the chest, and you can also customize the color of the chest, which is helpful for letting you know what is inside it. Yeah, it's a very handy little tool, so we don't need to customize its color right now, but it's good to keep in mind for later. Alright, so we got ourselves quite a few things right now. We're told to go to the beach, and we still need to get our introductions done. So how about we... So instead of going the other way to Pelican Town, let's head down here. Ooh, I picked up something really good. So sometimes when you take down those bushes, you can sometimes get mixed seeds. These will give you one random crop from the various plants that you're able to grow in that particular season. So by getting that, we are able to get like one new plant without having to buy one from Pierre's. Very helpful. You'll definitely want to collect as many mixed seeds as you can. Ooh, over here we got a new character. Hi. Jazz. She is the niece of Marnie, who lives here on the ranch. So Marnie's actually not here right now, as her schedule will take her away from the ranch on Tuesdays. Not much we can do about that, but yeah. Definitely want to go to the ranch later, because that is where we're able to buy animals, which we can then acquire various really good things from them. So yeah, things starting off, you obviously have a lot of very basic stuff. Can't really do anything to really expand your farm. But as we go forward, things are going to get much, much better for us. So if we head into the place here, we can actually go farther into the store to where Pierre and his family live. And over here is a little shrine. Altar of Yoba. So the people in town are actually kind of religious. Once a day, once a week, I believe on Sundays, people will go to that little shrine to pray. I've seen wild horseradish in the forest. Foraging can be a fun way to earn some cash, or you can use what you find as gifts for food. Definitely interesting. Got Jody coming by. A lot of the girls that come here on Tuesdays in order to exercise. So if you're looking to meet any of the girls for any particular reason, now's a good time for it. Hey Robin, have you met everyone in town yet? That sounds exhausting. I'm working on it, Robin. Don't worry. So Robin is also very important for something going forward. As explained earlier, she is a carpenter, and that makes her very useful for things going forward. Oh hey, so you're the new guy, huh? Cool. I'll see you around. This is Alex, another NPC. He lives with his grandparents, Evelyn and George. So we currently don't have Evelyn right now. She's probably somewhere around town. You'll usually find her in the square tending to the flowers. She could be in a few other places. So we got nothing on the help wanted board right now. So we'll definitely want to check some things go forward. If we head up here, there is quite a lot of space north of town that gives us a lot of things to do. Around here, you can find a lot of foraging items like the daffodils we picked up. Also more shrubs that we can just tear apart to get seeds and fiber from, which is nice. Haley typically will stop by this fountain in order to relax. This huge area over here is just really good for, like, getting things, so we'll just take all of those plants. And here's an interesting building. It's locked. We'll want to remember that for later. Nice. Now what I want to do is head over this way to the north part of town. This leads us up to the mountain above Pelican Town. This area is important for quite a few different reasons. Hello there. Greetings, I'm Demetrius, local scientist and father. Thanks for introducing yourself. I'm studying the local plants and animals in my home laboratory. Have you met my daughter Maru? She's interested to meet you. So Demetrius is Robin's husband and the father of Maru, who we met earlier. There is someone else who lives in this area we could probably see, but oh no, because of the time it is, we're probably not going to get a chance to interact with them. You're not good enough for friends with Sebastian to enter his bedroom. Kind of a shame, because this character spends a lot of time in his room and will not come out until much later. Oh no, I know a few areas where he'll typically come out to just kind of loiter about, so we'll probably check in on him a bit later. But yeah, that's another important character we'll want to watch out for. Now, around this area, if we look up in the mountain around here, there's someone else we can meet. Hello there. A stranger? Hello. Don't mind me, I just live out here alone. So Linus here is a wild man. He does not have a home. He lives in this tent up here on the mountains. Kind of an interesting fellow. And probably want to show this off right now, specifically because we have Linus here. the various items we're able to collect from foraging and stuff, we're actually able to give them as gifts to people. This is a great gift. Thank you. So if we go into our social bar, this is one of the main ways you are able to accumulate higher friendship with various NPCs. You want to give them gifts that match their likes and then gift them to them. And that will boost how much they like you. So there is a limit to how many gifts you're able to give to an NPC at a certain time. You can only give them 1 gift a day and 2 gifts maximum a week. So it can be pretty tricky to get their friendship up. Depending on what you're able to give them. Obviously, higher... every character has their own likes and dislikes when it comes to items, and knowing which ones various NPCs like is very paramount to boosting your relationship up with them. It's a bit later in the day, so let's see if we can meet this certain person we need to get. Nope, he's still in his room. Dang it, he's just kind of hanging out there. Alright, so it's a little late right now, and pretty sure, oof, with the time we're at right now, that is very unfortunate. We're not going to be able to get this one thing I really want. It's my fault for not going there until much later. So I want to really head to the beach tomorrow so we're able to do this. Also want to show off since we are in this area. Hi, Shane. What? What do you want? Go away. So look what it is. JojaMart. So remember that company we were working at before coming to Stardew Valley? This is a place associated with them. Welcome to JojaMart. How are you doing today? I don't believe we met. I'm Morris, Joja Customer Satisfaction Representative. When you decide you want to become a Joja member, I'll be delighted to help make your transition a joyous experience. This guy's pretty much the villain of the game, not lying. So you can also come to JojaMart in order to buy various seeds. There's really no reason to come here for seeds because you can get them much cheaper at Pierre's. The only real difference is that Pierre's shop will close on Wednesdays, as we can see on our map. Yep, it's closed on Wednesdays. JojaMart, however, is not closed on Wednesdays, so if you're looking to buy seeds and are really desperate, you can go there and buy them. But again, I'm not doing that. At least not right now. Ah, Sam's hanging out here. What's going on, bud? Oh, hi. Good to see you. Take it easy. Okay. There's still a few other people I really want to meet right now. Sadly, with what the current time is, we're not going to be able to meet a certain person that I really want to see. Alright, that's still locked. So over here, there's this broken bridge here. With 300 pieces of wood, this could be fixed. That is a long-term goal for us. I wouldn't recommend going for it until a bit later into the year. But that'll definitely be important for something later. So there's actually a lot more to this place than we would see before. Hello there. Ahoy there, nice to see young folk moving into the valley. Not very common these days. So this person is why we wanted to go to the beach. Why is there a time limit on this? It's so annoying. But yeah, we'll want to check in with Willie later. He will give us something very important. With that said, how about we move on? So I have an idea on which of these NPCs is probably going to be the last one we end up running into, considering how they are. Just want to look around here. One of these guys is a bit tricky to spot. He's usually the last person I manage to interact with in these in the introductory point of the game, which is kind of sad because they're an interesting character. Just they're a bit awkward to try to boost their friendship with because of the areas they typically tend to go to. It's getting pretty late, so we could try to check the Stardrop Saloon. So I want to quickly show on the map, the saloon actually is open until midnight, which is very helpful for a variety of reasons. Definitely want to remember that for later. Kind of going into that, as I said before, we have a time limit when it comes to what we're able to do in the day. So we start each day at 6 a.m. sharp, and you'll typically want to be in bed before 12 a.m. Because if you go to bed later than 12 a.m., your energy won't fully replenish between the days, because you're obviously not getting enough sleep in order to be able to do things. So got some very nice things we're able to salvage from the beach. I actually do intend to sell. I'll keep one of those daffodils for later, because those can be nice for things. So yeah, 12 a.m. is around the time you want to go to bed, just so you have ample energy. What I highly, highly recommend you don't do is stay up until the clock hits 2 a.m. Because if you do, you'll pass out from exhaustion, and then skip immediately to the next day. You'll definitely want to avoid that, because there are some bad things that can happen to you if you pass out, and I really wouldn't recommend it. So definitely keep an eye on your energy, keep an eye on the time, try to do as much as you're able to can within the time limit, and you should be able to have very productive days here in the valley. You can see over here, there is a lot of space to this farm, and a lot of different things we can do. Right before we end this session, I guess I can talk a bit about the various different farms that you can have here. So, I went with the standard farm in this game because I felt like it would be the easiest to get my various tasks in, and it would be good for, like, the introductory course I am going for this game during this stream series. Obviously, there are other varieties of farms we can do. Alright, as we can see here, we managed to level up our foraging skill. We were able to level this up by just picking up wild items on the field. So like the horseradish and the daffodils we were picking up, those all count to the foraging skill. And by doing that and leveling up, we are now able to get some nice benefits. So trees will now start to drop seeds, and we got crafting recipes for wild seeds and a field snack. Also be important for later. Typically, foraging is usually the skill that gets leveled up first, given that it's usually the one you're most easily able to do at this time. Which is very helpful. Alright, so tomorrow it's going to be clear and sunny. We're on day 3 of our farm. So what's nice is that because it's raining now, we don't have to worry about watering our crops because they're getting plenty of water from the rain, which is very nice. So yeah, going into what I said before about the farms, just as I'm making my way to the beach, there are a variety of different farms you're able to have. I went with a standard farm, which gives you just a lot of good space for you to be able to grow crops. Almost the entirety of this map is covered in soil that you are able to, in order to till with the hoe so you can grow a lot of crops. the various other maps you can have for your farm give you a lot of different options. Hey there, Shane. This weather makes me thirsty. I'm sure it does. So, yeah, there are a lot of different farms. One makes it very easy to obtain foraging items. One makes it so that you can, you'll be able to mine certain resources much easier. And there's even a map that allows you to encounter enemies when it gets to nighttime. We'll be going over enemies a bit later once we get started on, like, combat, but that's not going to be for a little while longer. Now, the reason I wanted to go down to the beach is because we have a special scene here with Willie. Ahoy there, son! Heard there was a newcomer in town. Good to finally meet ya. I'm still trying to unwind from a month out on the salty seas. It was a big haul. I sold a lot of good fish. Finally saved enough to buy me a new rod. Here, I want you to have my old fishing rod. It's important to me that the art of fishing stays alive. And hey, maybe you'll buy something from the shop once in a while. And with that, we get a very important item. You receive a bamboo pole. There's good water here in the valley. All kinds of fish. Oh yeah, my shop's back open now, so come by if you need supplies. I'll also buy anything you catch. If it smells, it sells. That's what my old papa used to say, anyway. I really like Willie. He's a very nice individual. Especially for giving me my fishing rod for free. But yeah, this is a very good item. We can use it to catch fish. Pretty much anywhere there is water, we're able to cast out our line. And once we get a hit, we're able to catch the fish. So they're very basic. Fishing is kind of basic, but also kind of complicated. So gotta repeatedly tap the mouse in order to raise the green bar. You'll want to have the green bar so that it is level with whatever fish you are trying to catch. Various kinds of fish will have a lot of different behavior as you're trying to catch them. You can also sometimes forage other items like that seaweed we're able to pick up. You can sell that, I guess, but it's also good for recipes, which can be handy. And yeah, what we want to do is just keep the green bar over the fish there, and you're able to catch good stuff. Got a halibut from that. Very nice. You can also see there that the water over there is bubbling. I believe if you manage to land your lure in those bubbles, you have a higher chance of actually encountering a fish, which is good. Maybe even a higher chance of getting a higher quality fish? I'm not 100% certain. Got another herring from that. Yeah, what I want to do here is I want to try to catch as many fish as we're able to with our current inventory space. So yeah, starting off with to go more into the fishing, we start off with a bamboo pole, which is very basic. There's not a whole lot we're able to do. Ooh, so there we managed to get our first high-quality item. So the gold star there shows that the product we have is of higher quality, and so we'll be able to sell it for more money. So we can see here, that herring sells for 45 gold, while these herring only sell for 30 gold each. So yeah, so we're able to sell our fish immediately if we go to Willie here in the store. You will want to put these guys in the box, but for the time being, we're just going to sell these here to give us a lot of good money. And you can also see here that there is a training rod. That's pretty much just a much cheaper version of the bamboo pole. It's a lot easier to use than other rods, but it's only able to catch basic fish, so it's not very good. Meanwhile, our bamboo pole is pretty standard. As we progress through the game, we'll be able to get much better rods going forward, but for the time being, we just have a pretty solid one right off the bat. Let's go into some more of the things here on the beach. You'll occasionally find things that wash up on the shore. You'll definitely want to pick those up because they're good for selling for money. You can usually find something that you can craft to other things. Yeah, we just picked up a very high quality cockle. So I believe with that, since it is labeled as a fish, we might be able to give that to Willie. Ooh, I just see the worms here. So we'll dig up some clay, and let's see if we can sell this cockle. So something I really think is good about fishing is that fishing by this point in the game is like the best way to earn money in the days, because it really doesn't cost a whole lot of energy to fish, and you're just able to get so much money from catching the various fish you can get around here. Especially when it's raining, because you can usually encounter much rarer fish when it's raining, which is very nice. Oh, now that we're here, there is something on the Help Wanted board. I could really go for a delicious parsnip. Could a local farmer deliver one to me? So we have our first instance of a side quest here. For these delivery missions, we just need to give the certain NPC the product that they ask for within a certain amount of time. In this case, 2 days. We should be getting our parsnips in tomorrow, so we should be able to complete this mission for Gus. We get a very nice reward for it, and we can also boost our friendship with Gus by doing that. So yeah, looking at what else we need to do here. For the last people we need to talk to... Yeah. We still need to see Evelyn, which... She has been very elusive. I have not seen her so far. She's probably inside her house right now. Yep, there she is.
Why, hello and welcome to our little community, dear. You can call me Granny if you like.
Evelyn is really sweet. Hard to believe she's married to George. But we all have our reasons. Yeah, she is very sweet. Definitely someone I recommend getting your relationship up with, because she can give some good recipes to you. Now that's taken care of, let's see if we can talk to this certain fellow up here. At this time, he's probably not going to be leaving his room, which is a pity, because I really need to talk to him. Oh no, you're soaked. Yes, Robin, I'm soaked. Oh, he's actually not here. Alright, that's good. So Sebastian should be outside. Alright, you guys can just chill out while I go looking for Seb. So some areas that Sebastian likes to hang out is over here. It doesn't look like he's over here at the moment, though. Still got the guy working up there. We're not able to advance farther into the mountain at the moment, but later on there will be stuff we are able to do. Okay, if Sebastian is not over there, then I'm thinking we probably want to go down into town. I can think of a few areas we could see Sebastian at, but we'll have to see. It's definitely a lot of space to move around in Pelican Town, which is fairly nice. I do like just how big and open this area is. It's a small town, but there's quite a lot of space for you to go around. Okay, so where are these last people I'm looking for? I know somebody is probably... okay, not around there. Yeah, obviously he wouldn't be here right now. It's just I know that sometimes a certain character can hang out at Sam's house. So I'm thinking he is probably down at the docks. So we'll head back down to the beach and try to find him. So at least 2 people that we can see down here, depending on how things go. I don't know about you, but I really like the way that the rain sounds in this game. Just so many things about this game I really like, from the visuals and the music and the sound design. Oh, you just moved in, right? Cool. The ocean's best enjoyed alone, don't you think? Well, that was an interesting interaction. But yeah, Sebastian is an interesting character. He is the biological daughter of Robin, and his father has long since been divorced from Robin, as she is now married to Demetrius. And that also makes Sebastian Maru's half-brother, or stepbrother. I don't really know the relation, like, too well. But yeah, right now I'm just going to try to catch a few more fish so that we can sell them. Because getting our money up is going to be very important. I want to make sure we have enough money for the things we want to get. Like, definitely before the end of this session, I really want to get the inventory upgrade. Because it's going to make things so much easier for us going forward. Okay, Willie's now left his shop, so... and that means that we won't be able to sell fish to him. That's okay, we can still deposit our fish in the drop box at the farm and still get things from that. Ooh, we got a fast one here. So yeah, the green bar that's used for catching the fish, it may start off small now, but as we level up our fishing skill, it will get bigger. Ooh, that is good. That is really good I was able to get that. So the eel is a pretty rare fish you can only obtain in spring when it's raining. So I'm very lucky that I was able to get one of these right now. That'll be important for something we're going to be able to do later on. So I highly recommend keeping a hold of one of those eels. But later down the line, we should be able to sell these for quite a bit of money. I got another sardine there. Alright, we'll try to catch a few more fish, and then we're gonna call it, and head back up to the farm. Ooh, that's probably another eel, given how fast that one was moving. Actually, I'm not too sure. Also a nice tip for fishing. If you're able to get the fish entirely in the green bar and not have it leave it at all, you get a perfect bonus, which will allow you to get... it has a better chance of getting a high-quality fish that way. So I really want this eel, so... let's throw out that clay we got and grab that eel. I feel like we're done for fishing for now. We got a very nice haul. So yeah, we'll sell that high-quality eel we got, and we're going to keep the normal eel, because there's something very nice we're able to do with this thing later on, and I definitely want to keep hold of that. I'm still thinking about the things we could have done. There's another character we still have to meet, and there's still no sign of him right now, which is a bit of a pity. I'll go over it very soon, but there is a lot more to this space past Marnie and Leia's houses that you'll definitely want to look into. It's quite a big area. Yeah, heading back up to the farm. There should be some good stuff for us. Well, what I want to do is we need to sell. So let's quickly deposit the things we've gathered. We don't need to hold on to the seaweed right now, so we can sell that, along with our fish. That's going to give us a lot of money. So I think for the rest of this night, something I want to show off is that now that we leveled up our foraging, there's something we can get from trees besides wood and sap. So by chopping down this tree, we're able to pick up an acorn. This is a special kind of seed that is used for growing trees. And can be helpful for a few other things going forward. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to plant that acorn, because we can use that to grow another tree. What is nice is that this map has a lot of trees on it when you first start out. So you obviously have a lot of time just to get as much wood as you need. There is a lot of wood you can get just from the trees that start out on the farm. And if you're able to like build a little orchard just to raise a lot of different trees in order to gather up their wood as well as other resources, that can also be very helpful. So we're able to get a pine cone. We're gonna plant that there. And then there's one other variety of tree seed we can get. I actually don't know if this is the right tree. Nope, that is another acorn. Okay, so this is the tree we need to go for. We're getting really low on energy right now, so I'm probably gonna leave the stump alone so we don't have to worry about that. So from that tree, we're able to get a maple seed. So the three basic varieties of tree are oak, pine, and maple. There is one other type of tree we're able to find. We're going to say that for a bit later, though, because there's definitely some good resources that can be obtained from it going forward. So yeah, also want to hold on to these tree seeds, because there's some good stuff we can craft from them going forward that'll make our farming life a bit easier. But with that taken care of, let us call this a night. Alright, day 3 is over, giving us a lot of new stuff. So we managed to level up our fishing already. And yeah, you can see there just how much money we're able to make just from catching fish. It's easily the best way to make money when you're first starting off your farm. That's very good. We're already halfway to the upgrade for... our inventory. Alright, our weather forecast is clear. Let's go to living off the land again. This one's for you folks living in Stardew Valley. Check for spring onions southwest of town where the river meets the ocean. You can sometimes find a whole bunch growing right out of the dirt. So that is something we'll want to go into very soon. Okay, we need like one more day for our parsnips, but they are almost fully grown. So let's water these bad boys. Then we'll water our cauliflower and our beans. There's definitely a lot of other crops that we'll want to grow as well. We're going to save those for a bit later, just because I want to get the next inventory upgrade. Yep, those are all fine. Actually, we can plant the mixed seed right now. I feel like that'd be fine. Just put you down there. Should be able to grow a good thing. Just judging from the shape of that, I think that might be a potato plant. Alright, we still have another introduction to do. There's one NPC left before we can finish this quest. Sorry Gus, but it looks like we're not going to be able to deliver the parsnip you wanted. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Alright. Now we're taking care of our plants right now. Let's head to Pelican Town and see what we're able to get here. Already got some good foraging right now. Ooh, 2 leeks, one of them being high quality. So there is something that I'm probably going to do with one of these leeks going forward, as that is a good item that we want to give as a gift to one of the NPCs in town. Okay, looks like we don't have to worry about any of that right now. So we'll go buy some more seeds later. What I want to do is head to George's house. And let's give him a leek. This is my favorite thing. Thank you. So yeah, by giving that to George, that is one of George's favorite items. So that will give him a lot of good friendship and just make it much easier for us to befriend him. And you know how the various NPCs have certain birthdays? If you give them a favorite item on their birthday, that'll give them even more friendship. So yeah, what you want to do is try to get your friendship up with various characters by giving them their favorite items, especially if it's their birthday. And yeah, that is pretty much the best way to get their friendship up. Alright, that's locked, meaning the person there is probably not open. Ugh, it doesn't tell me what time this one is open, sadly. So I don't know if he's actually in or if they're just unavailable. Alright. There's one NPC which has been driving me nuts ever since we came here to Pelican Town. They're somewhere around here, and I'm gonna get them. No, it doesn't look like they're here. Okay, since we need to get this last person in order to advance, so I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to head down to where their cabin is, and we're just going to hang out there, catch some fish, and if we manage to see this guy going in or out, then we'll go or try to talk to them. So yeah, we'll just wait here, catch some fish. So I guess right now, something I could talk about is a little more about Stardew Valley as a game. So, obviously, this is an indie game. One that has definitely seen a lot of attention over the years. But very interesting about it for its indie status is that this game is developed just by one person. And yeah, just what they were able to accomplish with this game, both visually and just every other aspect of it, from its gameplay to the look and style, just so incredible. So for those that don't know, Stardew Valley is actually a spiritual successor to the early Harvest Moon games, which also had a huge emphasis on farming and forming connections with people in a community. And this game was developed in order to recapture the feel of those classic games. Oh man, we fished up a flounder. That's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna belay that fishing right there to talk to you, Elliot. Ah, the new farmer we've all been expecting, and whose arrival has sparked many a conversation. I'm Elliot. I live in the little cabin by the beach. It's a pleasure to meet you. So we got Elliot here. He doesn't really have relationships with anyone else, just kind of living off on its lonesome. Giving gifts a great way to build friendships. Learn each person's individual tastes and you'll be popular in no time. Aw, man. They gave me this mission, like, right after I gave, like, a thing to... Okay, that's not all bad, because I have this daffodil, and I know there's someone around here who would like a daffodil. So go in here. Okay, she's not here. But Emily is here, so how about we give you a daffodil?
Thank you! I'm feeling a positive energy from this gift.
So we managed to make a bit of money by doing that mission. Alright, we made our introductions to everyone important in town. So we can see here in the social page, there's one other person we haven't talked to yet, but we'll meet them much later on. You may also notice that in the social bar, certain NPCs are marked with the word single. This marks that person's relationship status. So, in total, in this game, there are 6 bachelors and 6 bachelorettes that your character is able to build their relationship up with in order to romance, date, and eventually marry. And what's nice is that regardless of what gender you pick your character, you're still able to romance any of these characters regardless of gender, which is really, really great, especially since I'm bi, so yeah, really good. So potentially we could rematch any of the 6 guys or girls that are labeled as single. And that'll definitely be a long-time goal for this stream series. I don't have a clear idea on which character I'm going to romance. I do know at least that I am not going to romance people that I have romanced in my older files. So, there's quite a few characters that I'm not going to be romancing. Just to get out of the way, I won't be romancing Maru, Emily, or Shane, because I have romanced and married them in my previous files. There might be some other characters that I've romanced, but those are the big ones that I definitely know I have. But yeah, going forward, still quite a few characters that we're able to interact with, and it'll be very nice to get to see a lot more of them going forward. It's got a high-quality smallmouth bass there. Alright, we should head back down to the beach and sell these. So we definitely want as much money as we can from fish. So we definitely want to get our money up. I could also recommend holding on to a few of these fish going forward because they can be important for something coming up in a few in-game days. But at the moment, I'm just fine selling them. They're worth a good amount of money. We're able to get ourselves almost to our goal already. But yeah, definitely one of the major goals I wanted for this first day is to get a lot of the tutorial stuff out of the way. They get to know the various people around town, and also get our first big inventory upgrade, which we're already close to doing. So that's good. This has been a very good session so far, despite the minor hiccup we had in Pierre's shop earlier on. And as I said before, I am setting aside certain goals for each future stream session. So later down the line, we will be trying to make a way to various different goals as we try to build up our farm, build up our reputation among the community, and explore a lot more things around Pelican Town. But yeah, while we're just casually fishing right now, what's something else we can talk about? I guess I can talk a bit more about my history with Stardew. So, obviously, I played this game for a long time, pretty much. Sometime after the game's release, I ended up grabbing it. Ugh, that's bad. So sometimes when you're fishing, you can dig up, you can fish up junk items. They don't have any use to us at the moment, so we can just throw them out so they don't take up inventory space. I did pick up this game sometime after it was released. I can't for the life of me remember what exactly drew me into checking out this game. I think I probably watched somebody stream the game, or come to think of it, I'm thinking that I was actually inspired to play it from Game Grumps, because there was a time when Danny and Ross were playing this on the channel. Oh, but grab the stick there. That's another trash item. If we're getting all these trash items, that probably means our luck stat is pretty low right now, which is kind of a shame. But yeah, I was probably inspired to pick up this game from Game Grumps, and yeah, after that, I was, for lack of a better term, hooked. I just really love this game. Quickly want to sell these before the shop closes. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now the shop is closed. Before we go back to fishing, I want to check out some other stuff. So, we learned from the TV that there is an item we can pick up south of our farm. So I want to head over to the area where we can find Marty's ranch. What's up? So I'm gonna organize my clothes today. I had to throw out all the last year's styles to make room for the new ones. Good for you. Man, it'll be interesting if I decide to romance Haley of all characters. So around here in this area, this is one of the best areas in order to get foraging items. Because there is a lot we're able to see around here, south of Leia and Marnie's houses. So what I want to do is head over here. There's also trees we can chop down if we're ever looking to grab wood. And around here where there are these patches of soft soil, we should be able to find, well, we're supposed to find certain crops around here that can be foraged. They don't appear to be here right now, which is kind of a shame. It's got some horseradish there. What's nice is that we pretty much have the full selection of wild products, which is actually very good considering what we're able to do with these things now. Ooh, there's another thing there. So got a lost book. You found a lost book. The library's collection has expanded. So sometimes while digging, you can dig up books, which will fill out more sections of the library. So all you have to do is head back to the museum once you find one of those to read their information. And yeah, you'll definitely want to read the books. They contain a lot of good information. Not only for world building here with the various lore you can read about the world in Stardew Valley, but there's also some very useful tips for farming and dealing with various threats going forward. Just a lot of good information. I also want to show going up here, in this corner of the map, our path is blocked by this huge log. We're going to need a very high level axe if we're going to break that. So for the time being, we're just going to leave it alone. We'll take this opportunity just to grab a few more things. This area will also be useful for something going forward. We'll want to remember that for later. But yeah, it's getting late, so let's head back up to the farm. Man, these things just keep growing so much faster. So one thing I like to do is I like to clear a path in between the farm and the south area just so that you're able to get there more easily. And then I like to lay down paths, which can be made by crafting out of wood and stone. And because once you lay down a path, certain things like bushes and stones and twigs won't spawn on areas where you set down paths. So that can be nice to help organize things on the farm. You can also set down fences. We don't have any need for them at the moment, but those will be useful for something going forward. Alright, now that's taken care of. What is nice is that now we have all these forage items. We can go into our crafting, and we're able to craft wild seeds. So these are a very special type of seed. They have a chance of growing any of the 4 spring forage items, which is very darn good, especially this early on. That will give us a ton of good stuff. We're able to get a lot of money from that. Alright, let's sell the rest of these, and then we have some seeds to plant. Actually, we don't have a lot of energy right now, so I'm probably going to save those seeds for tomorrow. Alright, what are we able to get here? Just want to see about getting just a few more wood and stone. And just clearing up the area around here will be very helpful. Definitely makes navigating this area so much easier once you get rid of all these twigs and rocks. There is some other stuff we can find on the farm, but it's nothing we can really interact with yet. So all this stuff will be important later on, but for the time being, we just mainly want to clear out trees, bushes, twigs, and rocks. Alright, we're pretty good right now, so I think we are going to call it for this night. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. We're almost out of energy anyway from all the fishing we've been doing. So we'll go take care of that. So made some pretty good money that day. And now we're on day 5, Friday. Let's check the weather now. Gonna be a beautiful sunny day. It's good to hear. Oh, hello there.
Hello, Hayden. You see this cat here? I found it sitting outside the entrance to your farm. I think it's a stray. Poor little thing. I think it likes this place. Hey, don't you think this farm could use a good cat?
Yes, I'll adopt it. So now with the option to name our cat, which we decided that we would get when we first started our thing. Hi there, Mr. Dr. Yoshi. Welcome to our stream here. I'm not really playing on full screen at the moment. I may adjust some settings with my screen later on, but I'm quite fine with how things are at the moment. We can definitely leave that for later. Alright, we need a name for our gato. Alright, what are we going to name this feisty feline? Alright, I have an idea. Since we are on a farm, we're going to be naming a lot of our animals after various plants. So name you Parsley.
Well, little Parsley, you'd be a good kitty now, okay?
And like that, we now have a kitty. So see there's a water dish up here that gets filled. I believe you have to manually fill at this moment. But yeah, we have a cat that'll just hang around the farm. To our valued Joja Mart customers,
Our team members have removed the landslide caused by our drilling operation near the mountain lake. I like to remind you that our drilling operation is entirely legal, pursuant to blah blah blah, responsible stewardship of the local environment's our top priority. We apologize for any inconvenience this accident may have caused. As always, we value your continued support and patronage. Yeah, we were having some issues earlier on with the stream, so things may be on a bit of a delay for this session. Things may be a bit better as we go on. So we got ourselves a little notice about things going on. We'll definitely want to check the mountain later. But what's important to know right now is our parsnips are now fully grown. So we can quickly harvest these. It's got 15 plain parsnips. So what I like to do when we harvest like any of these crops is to keep at least one of them for later. So the various crops we can grow can be used in a variety of different recipes. And we got ourselves a bunch of new missions here. Raising animals. Robin, the local carpenter, lives north of town. In exchange for raw materials and money, she'll construct new buildings on your farm. You'll need her to build a coop or barn so you can raise animals. So now we have an objective of building a coop. This is something we'll be doing probably in the next stream session. I was intending that to be the goal for next time. And advancement. As you gain experience, you'll discover new crafting recipes to increase profits and make life easier. A scarecrow, for example, will prevent crows from snacking on your precious crops. Reach farming level 1 and craft a scarecrow. Yeah, that goes into something we actually haven't seen yet. So sometimes there is a chance when you're growing crops that you will completely lose a crop due to a crow showing up and eating it. It's like a very random chance, but you can prevent that from happening if you have a scarecrow. Sadly, we can't craft a scarecrow at the moment, but we should have been able to increase our farming level. Yeah, we increased our farming to level 1 when we picked the parsnips. So obviously, if you want to level up your farming skill, you need to grow a lot of crops, which we'll definitely be getting into. It's actually very close to getting the next inventory upgrade, which is very nice. In fact, what I'm going to do, we're going to deposit one of our parsnips in the drop box, and then we're going to take the rest of our parsnips over to Pierre. This will be very helpful to us. Oh, we got a new mission here. I'd like to put amethyst on my great-grandfather's tombstone. Please deliver it sometime today. Okay, that's gonna be interesting. We're likely not going to be able to find an amethyst, but we'll accept that mission anyway. Alright, gotta wait a little while longer for that. So while we're waiting for that, how about we do a bit of fishing? It's pretty much what I always do when I'm trying to wait for a building to open up so I can do certain things. I just start fishing because it's a good way to make money after all. It's a nice way to spend my time without just wandering around trying to do stuff. Got a sunfish there, which is very nice. And there's Shane passing by. I hadn't said it at this point, but Shane actually works at the Joja Mart across from the river. Which, kind of a shame he's working for the bad guys, but what can you do? There's definitely a lot more to a lot of these characters than what we see at the moment, and it'll be nice to go a lot more into their stories as we progress onward in this game. Hello there, Pierre. Let's sell those parsnips, giving us a lot of money now, so that we can finally buy the upgrade. That was definitely worth all the effort we've been putting into this. It's very good. Alright, so next what we're going to do is we're going to spend what little money we have on a few more crops, just so we have enough for the remainder of this. So I think we got a potato plant growing, so I'm going to grab a tulip. We'll grab a kale and a jazz. So the tulip and the jazz are flowers. Unlike crops, they don't really give too much money, but what is nice is that they have secondary effects other than being something that we can sell. For one, they're good items to give to the various residents around town as gifts, especially tulips, because those are very well liked. But they're also useful for something we're able to do later. So I think we're going to spend the rest of our money on some more parsnips. We'll buy 5 of those, and then let's buy a cauliflower. And what else can we do? Then we'll buy 1 kale. Wait, nope. I messed up there. Ugh. Okay. Which reminds me of a moment I had in my Final Fantasy VII streams there. But yeah, we got some more seeds. We'll go plant those so they'll be ready for our next big harvest coming up. That was very unfortunate. But yeah, we got some nice seeds here. We'll be also taking care of a few things going forward, which will be hopefully completing this stream session now that we got the next big thing with us. So we're going to plant these parsnips here. Just want to look at our crafting right now. Yeah, we don't have some other things that are useful for farming. So plant the parsnips, and we got the rest of these plants, which we will put here. So yeah, we don't have much space on our farm right now, but as things go on, things will definitely be more clear, which is just very nice in general. Alright, what I want to do now, we'll sell these fish, and then let's go head back up the mountain, now that we got that message from Joja. So what I want to do is take the back path up here behind the farm, as this is a quick shortcut over to the mountain without having to pass through the town. It's very, very handy. You can also pick up some foraging items here, which is very good. Oh, I see that leak in the corner there. We also got a wiggly worm, which gives us some dirt, clay, whatever. So Linus will typically hang out around here if we can find him. Yeah, we'll give you a leek. This is a great gift. Thank you. Of all the NPCs I recommend giving gifts to early on, I highly recommend giving as many as you can to Linus. He will be very important for something going forward. But yeah, starting day 5, we are now able to access this part of the mountain, which has some nice things for us. I was just peering down into this old mine shaft. It's been abandoned for decades. Still, there's probably good ore down there, but a dark place, undisturbed for so long, I'm afraid ore isn't the only thing you'll find. Here, take this. You might need it. You received a rusty sword. Name's Marlin, by the way. I run the Adventurers Guild right outside. I'll keep my eye on you. Prove yourself, I might think about making you a member. Member of what? But yeah, we have access to a very interesting area right now. This is the mine, which has a lot of things in store for us. We can see here this big purple rock here. Our pickaxe isn't strong enough to break it. And by going in here, we have a new objective. Explore the mine. There's an old mine shaft in the mountains north of town. There could be valuable minerals inside, but Marlin hinted that it might be dangerous. So our first objective is to head down to level 5. But what we can also do is if we can head over here. Adventurers Guild. Proven adventurers only. Okay, we can't enter there until after we do some things with the mine. So, how about we get started and try to head down? So this mine is fairly interesting. So right, there are a ton of rocks here which we can dig, and you want to break those open so that you're able to find the stairs which move you to different levels down here. Now it's time to go into combat. You'll encounter various enemies down here in the mines, and they can be dangerous. As you can see there, we now have a health bar. You do not want it to drop down or you will suffer bad times. What's nice there, we're able to get a new resource, copper ore. This is very useful for crafting going forward, so you'll definitely want to grab as much of that as you can. So we'll just want to whack that slime over there. So that actually drops some green algae. We can eat that to recover some health. So these big gray rocks here, you'll want to hit a few times if you want to break them open. Ooh, we got a lot of copper right here. That's so good. Really happy with that. So yeah, exploring the mine is interesting. This is a very big area with a lot of threats and hazards, but also a lot of good stuff. So in those barrels there, you can smash them open to get some good stuff. And as we saw there was a slime, there was also a beetle they're able to kill. Man, we're getting a lot of good resources here. And we got another enemy here. That's a cave crab. These guys can drop some good stuff if you take them out. Like, that guy dropped that. So that guy dropped a very interesting item that I definitely want to use here. That's a cherry bomb. We can use it to trigger an explosion, which is good for clearing away a lot of stone. Want to set that up, and boom. That drops a lot of stone, as well as a geode. So you have a chance of digging up geodes when you're mining rocks in the mine. You can't do anything with them, but if we take them to Clint the blacksmith, we're able to get them cracked open and get the goodies that are inside. Also able to get a lot of stuff here from the various things. There's monster loot, which we can obtain from the various monsters we kill, like the slime. The topaz, which we got from, I think, from one of the barrels we saw earlier. That's a mineral, but it's also something that Gunfer is looking for. So yeah, that is something that we can fill up the museum if we donate to it. So we also got coal from breaking the rocks around here. It's an important resource for crafting. Sap, which we saw earlier from the trees. Hardwood, which is quite interesting to obtain by this point. It's another good crafting recipe you'll definitely want to watch out for. And we also got sneakers from one of the enemies around here. We put that on, and that will increase our defense, allowing us to much more easily handle threats down here in the mine. So yeah, combat down here basically comes down to your weapons and your defense. Your weapons will be helpful for taking care of the enemies down here, and your defense will help protect you from the damage dealt. You start out with a pretty basic weapon right now, but you can buy better ones by talking to Marlin at the Adventurers Guild. Not going to be able to do anything with him just yet. We need to get down to level 4 in the mine before we're able to do anything. I just wanted to take care of this since we got introduced to it on this day, so we might as well try to head as far deep into the mine as we can on this day. So we were able to pick up a quartz. That's something that you can just find laying about in the mines down here. It's an important crafting resource. Ooh, This is good. So these special rocks here will drop certain ores. We're able to get another topaz from that. So the various jewels you can give here, obviously, are items that are really good for giving to various NPCs. Alright, now that we reach level 5, we now have access to the elevator. We can use that to get to and from the top and other levels of the mine whenever we want. But what's also interesting is that as we go deeper in the mines, it'll also get darker. So it'll be a lot harder to see what's going on here. I will be heading up out of the mine right now. I just want to check and see if there's anything else we can grab. Not really. Alright, so I think it's time to head out of here. It's good because now that we've reached this part of the mine, we should be able to go check out the Adventurers Guild now. Also, we're able to get some bug meat by killing a bug there. That is very, very helpful. You'll definitely want to grab bug meat. It's very important. Okay, looks like we can't go to the Adventurers Guild just yet. But once we prove ourselves, we will be able to do stuff there, which will be helpful. Right, that was a very good haul from the mine already. We didn't take a whole lot of damage, but as you can see, that took a lot of energy out of us. We're not going to have a lot of energy to do anything else this day. I mean, we could try to catch a few more fish. Alright, let's catch some fish up here on the mountain before we head back home. So what's nice is different areas on the map will give you different kinds of fish. Since we're up here on the mountain, we can get certain freshwater fish that we wouldn't be able to catch in the ocean. And there's also some fish in here that we're able to catch that we wouldn't normally be able to find in the river in the town. So you definitely want to try fishing in a lot of different areas, as they can give you some very, very good rewards. So we got an achievement from that. Achievements are a special kind of collectible that are obtained over the course of the game by doing a variety of different tasks. Maybe some point in these stream sessions, I might try to go for all of the achievements, but it's definitely not feasible during the first year of our adventure. So, which brings me up to another topic on these stream sessions now that we're almost done with this one. So, how things are going to go for our Stardew sessions is, first we are going to be handling the first year of Stardew. So, in the one full rotation of the 4 seasons. And that should be give us a lot of stuff to do in the next couple of months. So, at some point, we will be done with year 1, some point in early 2022. And then, once we are done with this year, what I want to do is we will put Stardew Valley on hold in order to get started on some other stream series. Because this is definitely a very lengthy game, one that admittedly doesn't really have an end. It really depends on how much effort you put into it that defines your experience with it. So, yeah. There's going to be a lot of stuff for us going forward that will be very interesting to do. And it'll be really exciting to see what we're able to do in the first year of Stardew. And then, when we come back to this game much later on, it'll be fun to get to see just how much things have improved since we first started, and how we're able to improve with future sessions. It's going to be really fun. This is definitely going to be a long-running series, and definitely going to be putting a lot of effort and a lot of heart into this, and I hope a lot of you are excited for that. Alright. So we'll definitely sell one of those topaz, but I'm going to keep one of them so that we can use that for later. Yeah, I think it's fine if we just sell those. So I I definitely want to make up some money. Yeah, we'll sell one of our topaz. We'll keep the other to give to Gunfer. And also want to... Yeah, we'll take that quartz as well, because we need to get that to Gunfer. Alright, so that'll be good for next time. At this point, we've, like, completely expended our energy. There's very little we have left, so that's definitely going to do it for that. Oh, I just realized, because it's a Friday, there is one other thing we're able to do. Now that it's this specific day, but given how late it is right now, I don't know if we're going to be able to actually show it off. Just give me a second. It should be just down here. So, twice a week on Fridays and Sundays, if you go over to this part of the map, yeah, it's not available right now. So there is this cart here. There is a traveling merchant that shows up, as I said before, every Friday and Sunday, and they can sell us some very interesting items, namely ones that we wouldn't normally be able to get this season, which can be just very nice. There's a lot of good stuff that you can obtain that way, especially some things that can't be obtained until much later on in the game, provided that you have the coin for it. And yeah, I can definitely recommend using the traveling merchant for a lot of things. Definitely very helpful. I want to craft another torch here just to try and light things up. Yeah, we'll put you there. Okay, that is gonna do it for this day and also this session. This has been an interesting session of Stardew, I must say. We had a bit of trouble early on, but things have steadily gone better, and I am quite happy with that. So, yeah. Hey, kitty. So with that, we are officially done with this session. And with that, we got level 1 farming. So now we are able to craft scarecrows and basic fertilizer. Those will be important going forward. And we leveled up our fishing, so now we're able to craft bait. And we leveled up mining, allowing us to craft cherry bombs. So yeah, you can level up your skills very quickly, and just very good. Oh, we made such good money from all the things we were able to get. Namely, foraging and fishing made us the bulk of the money. Oh yeah, we managed to catch a lot of good stuff, and got a really good chunk of money. I'm very happy with that. But yeah, that is going to do it for this session of Stardew Valley. Next time in Stardew Valley, we'll be seeing what else we're able to do on our farm, and we'll see if we can get us a couple new friendly faces to show up. Until next time, have a good day and take care.